glad to see you. I am so proud of all of the work that you guys have been doing through all of these music lessons. Today we're going to do one last activity before I come back with some writing, okay? And I know you guys got this. So I want to start out reviewing everything that we did with our music staff the last time I saw you, okay? And going over all of our different music pitches. So first of all, I'm going to draw my music staff on the board. 5 lines. And then I'm going to do a quick camera check and make sure you guys can see it, because that would really stink if you couldn't. Okay, zoom in, woo, there we go. And now, quick review. We knew the pitches. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now my hope going over all of this in video lessons is that when I actually come back, the weather A stays super nice, and B, because the weather is nice, we can do all of the singing games and things that you guys know I love to do outside where it's safe, okay? So let's get through this nuts and bolts stuff together, tough through it, so that way when I come back, it'll be super fun, okay? I'm gonna put my do clef right in that first space. Quick review, do is in a space, then mi is in a space, then so is in a space. Everything's in its place. Or we could say, if re is on a line, then fa is on a line, then la is on a line. Everything is fine. So we know my do clef is pinching that first space. Do lives on that first space. If do's in the first space, going in stepwise motion from space to line to space to line, I can fill in do, then re on the line, then mi in the space, fa on the line, so in the third space, and then finally la on that fourth line, okay? Now what I want to really show you today, because you're going to get extra practice, since fa is our newest sound, is noticing how fa always comes in between mi and so. All right? Got it, 4th graders? Now, today, you're going to get a little bit of a packet. You'll have plenty of time to work on it. And I'm going to take some time here to go through each page in your packet. The good news is it really shouldn't be too tricky. It's just that extra writing practice to make sure you really understand fa and how fantastic he is. So again, let me zoom back out so you can see my screen now. I know it always seems silly. Oh, it's not too bad to show you a screen on a screen, but this is what we got to do for right now. Okay, so your packet is going to look something like this. Okay, you put your name on the top, your class, okay, and it says stuck in the middle. Fa is always stuck in the middle of mi and so. When mi and so are in the spaces, fa belongs on the line in between. And then they show you an example. Here's our do clef. Mi is going to be in the second space because do would be in the first space. So is on that third space, and that means fa is going to come on that line in between. So go ahead, and what you would do is take your pencil and trace it. Now, if we look further on that same worksheet, your job is to label mi and so on the lines provided below, then draw fa where it belongs. Okay, so this is the first example. My do clef is pinching that first space. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Do is in that first space. Mi is in the second space, so I'd write my letter M. So is in that third space. Fa is going to go on the line in between. Well, the line in between them is that third line. Some of you are going to go like this, which technically is correct, but do you see how the letter F for fa is over there? So 4th graders, they want you to make sure you put your note head right above the letter F. Let's do another one together. Okay, now my do clef is in that second space. So if do is in the second space, mi is in the third space, so is in that fourth space, and ironically this time they do have fa right in between. Okay, so you're going to go through and you'll do the rest of these on this page. That's how this page goes. Like I said, there's a couple of them here. Okay, now that one, here we go. It's being a little silly. Was practicing fa and so and mi. Here it says fa has disappeared. Where is fa? Label the notes and then draw fa where it belongs. Okay, let's see if I can get my computer to work with me and go a little bit further down. So you can see the example. Looking at the do clef, you're going to label the different sounds, the different pitches they have on the music staff for you. Then you have to put fa in the spot where it would belong. Okay? We know fa always comes in between mi and so. Another strategy you could use when you're trying to figure this out. Look where do is and go, oh, re is just going to be the next spot up. And go re, fa, and count up that way. Okay, let's do an example of these together. Oh, that'd help if I had the right pen. Hello. Here we go. All right, it's being a little silly. I'm going to go to my computer and scroll down a second. Forgive me, fourth graders. Sometimes my Mimeo doesn't work so well. All right, let's do an example together. The first one, my do clef is pinching that first space. So do is in a space, then mi is in a space, then so is in a space. Ooh, this one's higher. So, what's higher than so? La. So this one's going to be la. Now, do is here in this first space. This is on the line right after, so that's going to be a re. Okay. Do is in a space, then mi is in the second space. Good work. Do is in a space. Oh, that one's easy enough. Now, don't forget, we may have labeled them. Now you have to go back and put fa on the music staff. Okay, remember, fa comes in between so and mi. Or we could sing, if re is on a line, then fa is on a line, then la is on a line. Everything is fine. Cool? Let's do one more. And I want to do one more because notice my do clef now is on a line. Okay? If my do clef is pinching that third line, oh, that means the first one is do. Do is on a line, then mi is on a line. This one's pretty simple. Then so is on a line. Everything is fine. Okay, now this last one, here's my do clef. I'm tracing it all the way over. And re comes right after do, and that's the next space. So that one has to be a re. Now I need to figure out where fa is going to go. Well, look at, here is a mi, here's a so. You guys remember, fa comes in between mi and so. So if mi is on a line and so is on this line, fa has to go in that space between. Notice again, fourth graders, how they're lined up. Got it? Okay. All right, so that's this page. Page number 3, let's do some of that one together. Fa the fourth. That's because fa is always 4 spaces above do. Again, it's being silly. Come on. Good. Let me go to my board real fast, or my computer real fast. It says fa always lives a fourth away from do. Using the do key or the do clef, write fa on the correct space or line that it belongs on. Remember that when the do moves, so does fa. That means he's not always going to live in the same spot. When our do clef moves, so does fa. So in the example here, my do clef is pinching the first space. Using that first space as number 1, I'm going to alternate lines and spaces to count up to where fa goes. Excuse me. So I have do, that's 1. The line is 2. The space is 3. This line is 4. Another way to figure it out is to go like this. Do is in a space, mi is in a space, fa is on the line. Let's do another example. My do clef is here. If do is in a space, mi is in the next space, fa is on the line right above mi. Got it, 4th graders? Okay, really trying to practice fa today. And then finally, one last worksheet. Here we go. It says writing your notes. Using whole notes, just a circle, write the missing notes on the correct line or in the correct space. Make sure you write from left to right and do not put notes on top of each other. Remember what I told you, how it's really super important that we're not stacking them straight up because we can't sing them all at the same time. Okay, so all you're doing here is putting the different pitches on the music staff based upon where your do clef is. So the first one, my do clef is pinching the first line. A trick, here's a trick that helps me. You could go in order, okay? Even though they're not in order here, you could do the pitches in order. So for example, do is on a line. Oh, here's a mi. Mi is on a line. Oh, there's a so. So is on a line. Everything is fine. And do you notice? They're lined up with the letter, okay? Now, there isn't a re, but you guys are pretty smart. Re would go in the second space. Oh, there is a fa. We know fa goes in between mi and so. And then finally, a la. We know he's like totally besties with so. Let's do one more example. Now my do clef is pinching the second line. They start with mi, and mi, if do is on the second line, mi is on the third line. Mi. Ooh, I like it goes downwards in order. Re. Remember, re comes right before mi, so he's going to be in the space. Do. Well, that's pretty easy because my do clef. So he's going to go right on that second line. Ooh, fa's a little trickier. Let's use re to help us. Re is in a space, then fa is in the third space, then la is in a space. Everything's in its place. All right, so 4th graders, there's a lot of work here to do. You may or may not get it done. And some of you are going to be like, this is super easy, cool. And some of you are going to be like, ugh, it's a little tricky. Do the best that you can with what you have. And we'll review all of this stuff when I come back. This is a time, teachers, where if you have peer helpers in your classroom, whatever strategies that you've used to try and have some of our friends that might be a little confused on it, catch up with it, it might be a great way to have them peer tutor each other and help each other out, okay? Good luck, get to work, I wish you well, and I'll see you guys next time.